Hi beautiful humans, welcome to Do You Tarot, my channel, and this reading. My name is Erica, and with this reading is a pick a card. I'm going to be getting 4 cards from this deck. You guys can use those cards to feel your way, do the pick a card stuff into one group or the other. But this reading is all about something new. Something new is happening for you. Something or someone or somewhere new is coming, and you're going to experience this very soon. It's likely to come through in the reading, probably some kind of an estimate of when this is likely to occur for you guys, but we're tuning into something new. So do have an awareness that this isn't something that you've experienced before. It might have tones that would be familiar or similar, but something new coming into your life experience and your existence. That's what we're tuning into with this magic of this pick a card reading. I'm going to turn over these cards. You guys start to do the pick a card sensing and knowing this thing, okay? Group 1, we have Savoring Pleasure. Group 2, Healing the Past. Group 3, Making a Difference. And Group 4, Accepting What Is. One other thing that I'll mention is the way that I do readings on this channel is I tune into our guides, any of them, all of them, and I kind of compile a message through the cards coming from them, one that would be helpful. That's like the number one thing I tune into is a helpful message for you. So trust in the nudge, head to the timestamp, fast forward. I'll see you there in your messages. Hi beautiful humans in group 1. You all were drawn to this Savoring Pleasure card, and it says, I fully embrace bliss in my life. So these are your messages all about this something new. And I'm getting from your card that this something new for you is an experience that you are about to walk into, it's about to come to you. And in a lot of ways, yes, of course, it does have to do with your overall pleasure, your sense of health and overall well-being. But more than that, this experience is something to do with your own personal, okay, just heard too many words. I'm gonna get to the tarot to see if they get better words than what's coming through. It has a lot to do with beauty. It has a lot to do with your perception of how beautiful you are and, you know, potentially the world around you's perception and or another person's perception of your beauty. And it's at this point, your guides are being very vague. So let's get to the tarot cards. It also has to do with being able to like put yourself out there, have pleasure because, you know, in reality, in this experience, you are beautiful. You're beautiful and you know it, kind of a thing. You're beautiful and another person is letting you be aware of that. Something like that. Let's get to your tarot and be a little less mysterious. We do have 2 of Pentacles, so it feels like you're going to need to, with this experience, take on the priorities of another. That's what's coming through from your guides. It's something like 2 of Pentacles is like, aren't we all always our worst critics in certain kinds of ways? Not always. I don't know. Yeah, I am my own worst enemy. We all know this. We all know how we'll like hyper fixate on one particular area of our physical appearance and we'll be like, that is unacceptable. There's something about this experience where you're going to have to take into account and analyze and be aware of the world around you, another person, the environment surrounding you, and what that actually physically experiences your profound selfhood as. Oh, okay. Let's see a little bit more. 9 of Swords. I feel in a lot of ways it has the potential of triggering you. I'm hearing triggering some harm or harmful wounds, like things that have occurred in the past, like reasons why any part of you would deem not beautiful. I mean, if we go super spiritual and super like angelic, like if we go really, really there, like as best as we can with our consciousness, our human form physically and almost every single quality or characteristic of ourselves is sublimely beautiful, isn't it? There's something about, you know, being a human in the 3rd dimension and how heavy and dense and stupid, like annoying it can be sometimes, that makes us have this insane anxiety over whether or not we're acceptable. There's something going on here. We're getting super psychological. Then we have Knight of Pentacles as well as Temperance. There's something about this experience that will be slow going and monumental, I'm hearing. Like a gift for you. I'm also hearing a gift for your pleasure. And it feels like pleasure wants to be taken in a broad meaning of the word, because this can be various things for quite a few of you, group one. Feels like pleasure can be something simple as like, you know, walking outside feeling the sun on your skin, or pleasure can be much more of like the sexual tone that it usually carries for a lot of us. But there's something about how it's like meant to last for a period of time. It's meant to endure. Okay, we're speaking a little bit like bigger picture, like from your guide's voice about this beauty pleasure with another, or the environment or experience kind of a thing, is meant to last until you can learn the lesson. Does that make sense? So that we might be tuning into this something new is a period of time where your beauty is reflected back towards you until you actually resonate with it, with the truth of it, or regard it differently. Like you have almost too negative of an opinion of certain parts of what you would call beautiful or unbeautiful on you. Like physical, mental, emotional, personality-wise, characteristics, what you do for work, anything like that. The outer world in certain kinds of ways and energy outside you, another person is going to reflect back repeatedly for a period of time until you learn the lesson that you are beautiful, like in their eyes or in the world around you kind of thing. It's one of those kinds of Temperance, you're going to need to learn this by experiencing it. It's almost as if the universe is sending you the gift of a reflection, a more like accurate one, or one for you to interpret and include about your selfhood right now. And then we also have Queen of Swords and we have the Devil. And here we go. This might be exactly why. This is fascinating. Yeah, so I think that there's something about how in the future, after you have this experience, and it is a pleasurable one, I need to emphasize that. It is going to be a pleasurable one. Not something negative like for a period of time you're going to be catcalled on the street incessantly. And isn't that great? You're going to learn about beauty that way. No, this is coming in a pleasurable form. You're going to experience pleasure with this gift, and it's going to change something inside of you. So in the future, after this extended period of time, there's something going to shift inside of you alchemically about the way you perceive yourselves in the world and reality and humanness and that kind of stuff, to help you to be more assertive, to have a stronger voice, to take on certain challenges or certain negatives or certain like, I want to say like demons, but not go all the way to like, you know, talking about angels and demons as if I really functionally know anything about that. But the Devil card, it's like the muck. Like how in the future do you want to deal with the muck that presents something to you that is false, you know? Like, I don't know, anything. It's just gonna like encourage in you a new sense of self-worth and confidence as a result of that, because you know something about your beauty to be true. And therefore anything that might come at you to try and find the chinks in your suit of armor or find a way to kind of like manipulate their way in, it's not going to be able to. It's giving me the vibes of it like it's actually a very protective thing to know how the community surrounding you considers you in terms of beauty standards or something like that in all capacities. Like it's actually like very dangerous to not know that, because people will use it to their advantage sometimes. Ugh. We got these next two cards. We have animals and we have health. And just putting the imagery together, again, you're going to have some kind of a pleasurable experience with the environment around you, with another person, with other people just in general, that regard you in a more healthier and more pleasurably beneficial way, that reflects back at you a more healthier perspective about who you are right now in the world. And then we got this animals energy with that Queen of Swords and the Devil. In the future, after this prolonged experience, for however long I think it needs to last for you guys, after this prolonged experience, you all will be able to project yourselves energetically in a room, in a situation, with another person, with your family, in an environment with a different, more like the fairy, glowing tone. Does that make sense? You'll have a better awareness of worth, of like self-righteousness almost. What is the word that we use? Like feminism has used this word, entitlement. I'm like, feminism has used it for men for a while. Entitlement. You'll have a better sense of entitlement. There's something about the fact that the Temperance card has showed up here in your reading group 1 that is more about you making sense of it and how you want to live in the world, with that being reflected back to you so prominently for a period of time, so pleasurably. There's something about how you're going to make sense of where that fits in your own consciousness. It's like having an awareness of how other people perceive and regard you is important for you to be able to kind of coexist. That's what this animals card is making me feel like. Cohabitate. Like if the world around you is like thinking that you're more beautiful than you're allowing, and it's always creating differing relationship dynamics. And so then there's always this kind of disconnect thing. Okay, we've got mystery, and then we also have manifestation. And for some reason I want to get all 4 of these cards. We have fire, and then we have goodness. Okay, this something new is coming in the form of a manifestation that you would not expect. You are manifesting. There's something inside of you that's yearning for this, that's burning for it. And you might be very aware of that kind of burning, yearning sensation inside of you for like one specific kind of a thing or an experience, or, you know, you want to have this in your life more. What I feel like is someone, this goodness, some person or people, again, environment, goodness is just representative of the energy. Look, that's going to be mirroring back at you, okay? This is what you're manifesting. Your cards are getting a little bit more specific to tell you, you know, how it will appear, kind of to like redirect your focus, to be aware of it when it does occur. There's something that you really desire to know about yourself, or you're striving to manifest this, whether it's subconscious or not. This fire is representative of that. How I think that this is likely to appear is kind of in your least expected way, and probably a distinctly synchronous and yet very mysterious form. Like you wouldn't expect this kind of a need to be met, or this kind of an occasion to be experienced in this kind of a form or in this kind of a way. It's almost as if it's giving me the vibes of a little bit mysterious, whoa, of you guys have a want. And you're very curious about this want that you have, but what's coming to you and manifesting mysteriously is actually something that is a need. You have a requirement. And again, we're very serious in your reading, the Queen of Swords and the Devil. We're not playing around with why this is important. Like there is one thing of like, I want to be treated like I'm beautiful. I just literally channeled that, and those are the words I want. There's something about, yeah, but you need to know you're beautiful because it's unsafe if you don't, and it's leading to relationship, you know, mismatches and crosshairs. Wow, I just channeled that. One of the things is like, I don't know, you probably have some forms of subconscious behavior developed because people are jealous of areas of how you're beautiful, and you're just trained to not be aware of that. And so then you're always in this relationship dynamics, maybe primarily with friends who are approaching you with this envy, jealousy tone. That's not safe. That's not safe. But okay, we got more. Oh, this card, when I was, so I got other cards for us. I got like a whole bunch of cards from this deck, but this card just kind of like butted its way out. I was only going to get 4 cards, but this 5th card needed to come out. And if you look, it's in the reverse. And it's you, the muse. You just need to have this factual understanding of this is what you are, this is who you are for another person, for an environment, for other people, for a period of time. And you just need to functionally be aware of that because it's safer, and there's an encouragement of you can project your energy tone further in the future in your environment in certain kinds of ways. Nourish the sacred feminine. This animals card is the number 33, and we also have your soul shines. For a period of time, I feel as if you're going to be walking into a manifestation like we keep describing that has a gentle tone to it. Again, this savoring pleasure. And what does it say? I fully embrace bliss in my life. That is very feminine, isn't it? to like fully embrace sensitivities and sensations a whole lot more, to be sensitive and softer. For a period of time, this energy will be effectively nourishing your sacred feminine. And again, this like beauty, we're in 2025. We know beauty standards. We know beauty is only skin deep. We know like, you know, the best beauty is when you glow from within. We know that. Group 1, we're speaking generally about the area of beauty that we might be reflecting back to you in this manifestation. It's some kind of beauty. It's any kind of beauty, but you need to know it. You need to see it. You need to hold hands with it. So it could be coming from your soul, and that's just reflected back to you. You could have the experience of being like kind of really seen and therefore truly loved by another person. And therefore you are gorgeous and completely ideal in their eyes, you know? Kind of an idea. We also have inflow with money. That's intriguing. And then we have follow through. I feel like this is a clue maybe of what this energy can do for you in the future. Like if you have an awareness of your particular gifts or how people perceive you, then, I mean, isn't it that guy Kawasaki who isn't he the dude who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad or something like that? And isn't one of his primary things that he realized that like you're rich if you sell things, if you're in sales? I'm grossly generalizing the economy, but it's something like if you can do sales in any form at all, you'll be a rich dad. Something like that. And again, this Queen of Swords, the Devil card for your future, you're going to be able to project your energy, probably financially, in a different kind of a way in the future. So this follow through, but also I feel like for a few of you, this is also coming through as a clue for this manifestation. Is it's going to come through in the form of your job. And let's be a little bit more generic than saying the word job, because so many of us have like, you know, secondary stream or multiple streams of income. Let's just say like streams of income is going to occur through something like a stream of income. Something like that. So expect it to come through from there. Your next two cards, we have the Ant with cooperation. You are going to be experiencing something that does feel a little bit more, I mean, again, I think this is just repeating that there's work to be done here. Ant energy. You know, there's something about this energy outside of you. Again, I'm going to generalize. It might be a person, several people, a community, environment, and a situation, whatever it is. It's going to last for an extended period of time. There's goodness, you know, being reflected back at you. But we're not letting you get away from this idea with this Knight of Pentacles and the Temperance of there's work internally inside of you that is involved in this. So do be aware of when this something new manifestation occurs for you all, Group 1, because you're going to have this kind of consciousness work to do. You're going to have to kind of do the shadow work involved with something like this. Like, why do I think I'm fucking ugly? Why do I think that this part of, you know, my choice in the past was the worst choice that I ever made? Like, why am I carrying regret? Like, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like a lot of that kind of stuff. This is actually, I mean, it's a beautiful blessing. You guys are going to experience pleasurable sensations of knowing that you're beautiful. Okay? It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. While at the same time, it's like dig into your guts of your subconscious and like alchemize this situation. Knight of Pentacles, pay attention. Pay attention to the material world because you can build more as a result of what you will learn. Health card, you will be a healthier presence in the world. And then we have the Cat with independence. I do feel like this is about to occur for a moment in time or a period of time. And then it feels like there's a moving on kind of energy. And then it feels like there's going to be something that will manifest, you know, synchronistically with the universe and your reality. Kind of, it's giving me the vibes of big picture. Let's look really big, like your soul signed up to experience this at this time. Okay, after you experience it, after you've alchemized, you've learned your alchemical lesson by living through the lesson. This cat energy is making me feel as if then it's up to you. Then it's on you. You'll probably, veer away from this environment, this person, this existence, this experience. Like you will have gotten all you needed from that. And then it's up to you. And then the next level for you is to apply those kinds of beauty lessons, beauty awareness in the world around you. Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the follow through card and what we were saying about how this will have a financial impact. Your last card, group 1, the gift of neutrality. Balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang, or yang, are opposites in energy but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. I do want to say, this is like feminine and masculine kinds of vibes, genuinely, especially it's kind of like it'll support you and secure you, like in the future, like you're gonna know your value and know your worth. That's almost like in flow with money. I know money isn't necessarily masculine, but it just does feel like it always our economy was built for men by men up to this point. Anytime I engage with the material world in finances, I am always feeling like I have to be a man, for the most part. So it does feel like it's like the masculine thing will integrate more, but first this feminine thing. So we bring you into more balanced kind of existence. But also, I'm just gonna say this as your last bit of your message, have a regard for kind of, again, zooming out. Again, not losing ourselves in the ego perception of beauty. Like, oh, they think I'm beautiful, kind of a thing. Not allowing that reflection of beauty to be dependent on the mirror. Fuck, that was poetic, wasn't it? As if you require the mirror to know you're beautiful or to know your self-worth. In time, that mirror of your experience will be going, like we're channeling in these cards. This is coming to you pretty shortly, pretty soon. I did say that I would get some kind of a time estimate, but I just feel as if this message is here for you guys, group 1, to be aware of this manifestation is going to occur. It's occurring probably right now. Follow through on it. If you already know that you are in this form of an existence in this moment in time, this is why you are experiencing this. But there's something about zoom out. There's something about having alchemical knowledge of this experience. Like really just kind of be aware of the beauty. And don't rank it, don't judge it, don't treat it as some kind of privilege, just be aware of it and then make use of it sensibly according to you in the future, hence this neutrality thing. I also feel like that because this is a chambered nautilus and they kind of look like they're moving backward all the time, I feel like for a period of time you might be moving slower, definitely slower, in order to experience this. And your guys just want to finish off your reading by saying in order to regard this. Regard this as important and regard it as, kind of a high picture kind of an idea. Like literally kind of like it's okay to, if your finances are just kind of steady state, after this kind of a lesson, you guys can probably apply it to your financial world and things can get going again. Move in cycles. Okay, there's a feminine tone to this, so you're gonna have to go slower. Okay, savoring pleasure. Okay, we're done. Group 1, how do we feel? Let us know in the comments about any of this. You guys can always, let us know that kind of stuff. Like and subscribe because it's YouTube and that always helps the channel and you can see more of my readings and stuff. I have links in the description of this video. I made a book. It's the little book of tarot spreads if you guys are a reader. There's a link to the ebook. You can purchase that right away, or I have a paperback version. Also, I host a group once a month over Zoom. If you guys want to show up and read together with me, you don't have to be perfect at it. You can be totally new. You can be totally sensitive. If you read tarot or if you read only oracle, or if you just channel messages, if you do astrology, any of those kinds of things, we get together over Zoom and we read for each other. That's basically it. But it has the benefit of lots of people will read for you on your question that you bring to the table, and you will have the opportunity to do that, whatever that next level or that next phase of your reading journey is, kind of come out of the spiritual closet a little bit more in a very safe space and in a safe tone and practice your intuitive capabilities, your divinatory art, with other people, for other people. So very valuable. If you guys want to sign up for the next one, head to the link in the description of this video. I'm sending you on your way. Please remember that we are all free. And then we are also all connected always at the exact same time. I love you. Hi, beautiful humans in group 2. You guys were drawn to this healing the past card. So these are your messages all about something new that is coming into your life experience very shortly, very soon. That's why we're tuning into it. Your card, it says, I step into my future with strength and clarity. And already there's a sense with your message that what we are talking about here is something that you would not ever expect. It is coming from your past, and it is coming through literally, like the literal words on your card of this. I want to go straight to the tarot cards because I think that's where it's going to tell us more specifically. But what this is like something that you would never expect that is actually going to functionally heal the past for you. Like it's actually going to do that very thing of like go to that wounding inside of you, or go to that persistent ache that still occurs for you, and it's actually going to functionally fix it. I know we're talking about a reading about something new, you know, and this healing the past. So I mean, like, we're not dealing with something new for you, but this exchange, this occurrence, this experience, whoever, whatever this is that we're going to read more about here, it will not feel like it will be completely out of your memories, like out of your experiences so far. It's not going to have like literally anything to do with them aside from maybe having some common key players involved, like a person coming back around. It's just behavior will be different. Topics of discussion will be different. You know, outcomes will be different. Everything new in that kind of a way. This feels intense. You probably already feel it. Let's get to your tarot cards and see a bit more. We have King of Cups, and allow for a really high regard for empathy and compassion. A whole lot of emotions will be involved in whatever this is, as well as the watery nature of healing just in general. I'm seeing and I'm hearing, and I'm like actually visually, I'm almost physically experiencing baths. And it feels like natural baths. I don't know why this is just coming through, so I'm just gonna mention it. Like natural baths. Like, have you guys ever been to those kinds of places in nature that have like clear hot springs or bubbling up springs or something like that? I've been to so many. I'm thinking of like ones in Costa Rica. I'm thinking about the ones in Florida. Like, I mean, like, there are many. Like, I just saw there are ones in Mexico, there are ones in Turkey. You know, like, there are many of those kinds of things. Iceland. Stop it, Erica. Think otherwise. There's more to your message, but this has a lot to do with effectively, like, healing waters as a tone to it, okay? Like, you will be in healing waters, or we're using that as, like, a metaphor to depict what this experience is about to be. Like, it's about to occur. We also have the Star card. I am so good at this. Sorry, your guys and I are really, really good at this. This is what we're talking about with all that water stuff. The Star card is the water bearer. Okay, it's an air sign. It's Aquarius. Aquarius is associated with the star sign, and Aquarius is not a water sign. It is like it's almost like the mental approach to what do we require for our relationships to move smoothly? What do we require for emotional health? What do we require for healing? Let's collaborate. Let's get together on it. Let's think this through. Let's have some quality thoughts about this. But yeah, repeating the tone of what was coming through with your first card here of we're going to clear and cleanse and heal. Like whatever did occur in the past, what is that, you know, wound or that persistent ache or whatever it is that like just really, for quite a few of you, it's still going on in certain kinds of ways, even if it is that wound of trauma that we're talking about here. There's something about we're going to go in, and again, I'm kind of speaking metaphorically here, and thoroughly cleanse the wound so that it can finally heal. You will likely have an experience where everything will come to you in your environment, and or you will get the like very clear, open acknowledgement and invitation in your own intuition, or it'll just happen. Kind of a thing where you can walk right into it, into this King of Cups tone. A secure place, a sanctuary kind of vibe, you know, trust tree kind of energy, just like total secure, stable, confident structure to do all of this water work. Emotional, sensitive, healing, empathy, compassion, secure, supported, stable, structured. This feels really nice. But again, the Star card is like, we're going to totally clear out the wound. We're going to clear and cleanse this stuff. We also have the High Priestess. You guys are coming in strong here. There is no ability, I'm channeling these words, there's absolutely no ability for any kind of metaphorically speaking, shrapnel to be left in the wound after this occurs, after this kind of experience. We're going through every single part of it and ensuring that the wound is properly healed. Again, all metaphor, unless we're actually talking about a physical wounding in your body. Yeah, it's like completely clear of anything that could prevent it from totally healing, totally like merging together kind of a stuff. Like an example of an interpersonal conflict that has been ongoing for such a long period of time, this experience, this something new is like the person is coming around with a high regard for the energy of healing and setting up support structures involved in you and their lives to be able to promote and support healing of that relationship, which would likely means doing things together like therapy, doing things together like hallucinogenics, mushrooms, go on a mushroom trip together. Like, I don't know, anything like that, breath work, whatever, anything together that just, you know, having like going to a rage room, maybe not together. You know, like I didn't know that rage rooms existed. I just heard of that, but you know, where you can break things and get your anger out. The idea is like High Priestess energy will also be involved in this. Like, I'm hearing like telepathy, telekinetic. You don't have to subscribe to that kind of stuff actually being real, but the High Priestess, that's her domain, and she is sitting there all peaceful and calm and all naturey. Like, there's a lot in this, you know, connection in this wound, and we're gonna make sure that we literally visualize and see High Priestess. We x-ray the entire situation and anything lingering, even if it is a lingering thought, persistent emotion that still wants to be felt and therefore heard. Whatever it is, we're going through all of it, and we're going to use all of our visualization tools to be able to perceive it and figure it out and probably find out the truth. It's giving you the vibes of like the first thing when you go to a doctor is like, you know, they like, you know, feel, if you have like a sore knee, they're like, what's going on here? Okay, and they might do the little like boop. Do they still use a hammer? Boop. The little rubber hammer thing. And then the next level would be a simple x-ray. Next level MRI. Next level this, you know, kind of a thing. We're gonna do all the levels. And then we have the Tower card. Your reality is wow, your reality is totally going to shift with this. It's totally going to like defunction in certain kinds of ways, because in a lot of ways, you've been living with the ache, you've been living with the harm. And so then it's almost as if you have a limp as a result of that. Again, group 2, we're speaking metaphorically. So like move along poetically with these messages as best as you can. You functionally have some form of a limp. You're working at a deficit. Other people look, it's almost like other people can regard you as that. They can see it about you. You might be like functioning in your daily life under a really high level of depression. And therefore, other people literally have privileges that you don't, because they don't have the wound, they don't have the ache, they don't have the persistence, they don't have this thing that's so like unhealed. But everything about that kind of a way of going about living is about to crash down, or it will, as a result of this functional healing that's going so thorough. And then the Sun card. Like true, I was gonna say real and true at the same time, so I'm like, real reality, true, real reality is going to come through for you. And if anything, this Sun card is giving me the vibes of what's been coming through quite a bit in our recent readings, you all, on this channel, is like, you all have heard, I keep saying this, but let's say it again. We've all heard that like our body's natural state is health. We have to do things like eat shitty food or like be under super fucking stressful situations for us to not like function well, you know? Health, like physicality, health-wise. There's also the notion that ourselves, natural states are, you know, joy, inner peace, bliss, Sun card energy, communion, connection. Like those are our natural states. It feels like it's like one of the hardest things to get to at this point. Like we're all like super into biohacking and engineering our physical, like I am running at my optimal health right now. But when it comes to like that whole my natural state is joy thing, we're getting there for you. And then look, King of Pentacles is okay, so putting these three together, it's like a whole lot in your physical reality will deconstruct because it functionally has to. Like we were saying, you've been operating with a limp, you've been living with a limp, and then why you don't have to have the limp anymore. So then we've got that healthy steady state operating kind of a thing with the Sun card. And then once we know what the healthy, steady state operating thing is, especially interpersonally, because this is kind of like the second time this is coming up in your reading, it definitely feels as if we're dealing with interpersonal issues here that are coming back around for the thorough healing to have to occur and have to happen. Something feels very significant about Leo season, probably Leo season next year. I do want to say give this process time to occur because it's a deconstruction process and it takes time if we're going to do it well. We got very feminine energies occurring here, including like the earth sign, like Pentacles is a feminine, like the cups and Pentacles, water and earth are feminine. We got to go slowly because we're paying attention and we're sensitive, you know, and we got to be soft about this. But once everything deconstructs and we have the communion going well, you in your own selfhood feeling good, you and the other people involved in this situation feeling like you're connecting well, then structures and stability in the physical world will be formed around that. This feels hugely important. This feels like something that's very big in our era. This feels like it's kind of like you guys are going to experience something group two, like as a part of a collective, because this is a collective reading, you know, it's a pick a card on YouTube. You're going to be experiencing something that's kind of like can have profound impacts, you know, butterfly effect, like the waves rippling outward in your reality to kind of like show others like, look, we can do this well. We can do this better. It's giving me the vibes of Gwyneth Paltrow breaking the internet when she announced that her and Chris Martin were doing conscious uncoupling. And everybody made fun of it, but at the same exact time, it's like, oh, divorce and separation doesn't have to be war. We have pristine. Look at those clear, clean waters. Oh my God, didn't I say something about like waters and natural bodies of water? I don't know what that is necessarily. That just feels like it's a little bit of a clue. And then we also have the life cycle. You know, I'm recording this technically in Virgo season. And what I am saying or what I am sensing is that this is coming in pretty soon. It might take its time to fully get there. But again, everything in your reading is this something new is a process. So support approaching it as a process. It's kind of like somebody who's given a diagnosis after an injury of you will never walk again. How many times have we all heard or seen or witnessed like a person who does? It's a process. It takes time to support the body's healing and to support the body's continual buildup of movement to get there. So the life cycle, it's going to take time to do this. And again, it just feels like you would have never thought that this was going to occur. I don't think, I feel like repeating that at this point, group two. I don't think that you thought that this was going to occur. It's interesting because it's in the 13th minute of your video, I'm noticing, and this card is the number 13, and it is symbolic of, you know, the life cycle, life, death, life again, life, death, life, you know, light, dark, light, you know, whatever, the seasonality of it. I think that you thought that this was dead, never to be revived, or no one ever could, or you certainly couldn't, and the other parties involved didn't want to. Let's see a little bit more. We've got the Sun card coming out again, like ultimate doubling down on that verification of the ideal is a resting state of, you know, communion, connection, reciprocity, vibrancy. We also have fire, so let's allow that for that rage room to be a part of this. We might have a lot of anger involved, but also I'm feeling like do allow that there might be some kind of inspiring action that occurs that sets this all off, that kicks this all off. Like something might happen to encourage this kind of thing to occur. And it might be a triggering kind of a thing. I don't know. Literally, I feel like I could read a little bit more into this. What I feel like is I'm almost reading another person in your situation involved, or you, where something is likely to occur where something triggers you and or them, because it carries a tone that is so familiar. I'm doing it again. Similar and familiar. I squished them. Similar and familiar to whatever it is that you all did in the past, that you all went through, that you're going through right now. There's something about like how they're going to witness it outside of themselves, like maybe in a different situation, like it's happening to other people, and it's going to trigger something inside of them, and or this is going to be triggered inside of you, and it's going to catalyze, it's going to create this whole effect of, no, we gotta come together, we gotta follow through on healing this kind of a thing. Again, we have seasons energy. Well, I mean, the life cycle in seasons is so similar. It feels like it will take a year. This process will come along when it is ready. It's like you can't rush nature, even though science-wise, we really try to manipulate nature, like cloud seeding and stuff. But like you can't rush what is a natural organic process. I feel like that's twofold. Like, I feel like this might take some time to come around to you in your life. So, you know, it takes its time. The second fold thing is everything that we already said about allowing for the healing. And we've got another repeat. Confirmation coming through. In your reading, we got a lot of clear, clean water stuff. We got the sun card coming out twice, multiples on that season thing, and the inner vision being very much like the high priestess and all that we went through about the x-ray stuff and the telepathy. What is that? Something like telepathy and telekinesis or something like that. I don't know specifically what we're talking about with that, but let's just leave that where it lies for right now. I'm getting 2 more cards for you guys, but we're definitely proceeding. We're definitely going there. Maybe you all, I mean, you're here watching tarot reading on YouTube. You all have done your fair share of striving toward honing those skills and building up those muscles, the inner vision muscles. I mean, you guys are watching a tarot reading. This is a pick a card reading. You got to have some inner vision muscles to even engage with a pick a card reading. Something about you'll be using them. Something about they'll be a good resource for you. And maybe you're going to be not alone in this. Hence that telepathy, telekinesis kind of a thing. I don't know what that is. Okay, we have the spark of hustle. What is that right by that fire thing and everything that we said? Group 2, you guys are pretty amazing with how many cards are coming out that are very repetitive. This doesn't almost ever happen. I don't think I've done a lot of readings on this channel, haven't I? I don't think we've ever had so many repeating tones. This is very important, group 2. We're being very serious. Group 1 was very serious as well, but the spark of hustle and then unstick the stuck. And it's even the same color as all of this watery. I think this is fascinating, like the pristine color, the color surrounding the background of these cards that we use to, you know, the initial oracle card you were drawn to, the color of the King of Cups' dress. Or robe, the color of this water in the background, the color of her shawl or cape. Okay, unstick the stuck. I'm not going to repeat. We're just going to literally accept that this is just another doubling down of the entirety of we're getting out every little piece. We're seeing all that we need to, and we're getting out every little stuck thing. The spark of hustle. I'm going back to that because it feels like the primary focus for a long period of time and the external has been growth and hustle culture. You know, I think that all parties involved and or you, like, again, with that metaphor of you needed to learn to walk with a limp. There's something about probably society as a whole, culture, your situation just force you to have to. In fact, I've read a lot of tarot for a lot of people, not just on this channel. I've read thousands of tarot readings privately for thousands of people. And in at least one way, all of us are walking around with limps. You know, so there's something about the spark of hustle was the primary focus for the longest period of time in whatever it is that we've got going on here. Let's be busy, let's be busy, let's be busy, let's build, let's build. And again, there's something that we were saying, remember about like the reverberations thing with the Tower, the Sun, and the King of Pentacles? This is huge. This is actually like a huge social thing. Like it feels like your entire resources in whatever this connection is, this situation is, are going to kind of deconstruct, focus on the connection, focus on the quality of those emotions, focus on how well we're communicating first, build that, realize that, and then the King of Pentacles, then re-engage with the spark of the hustle. Because then the material world, like, you know, what you do for a living, your job, where you guys are living, any of that kind of stuff, then it can be reorganized because there's a relationship involved here, you know, and it's going well. That feels really healthy for some reason. We have the Crow with magic, and that crow is like got an open beak right over her eye. Again, we keep repeating the words telepathy and telekinesis. I don't know. And then we have the dolphin with joy. This feels like it's doubling down on all the words that I just said. Definitely, I'm hearing definitely. We've got this powerful pink shit coming through, like this, what is that, a cowl on the King of Pentacles, his little hoodie drapey fun thing. And there's just like such a prominent pink energy, like this dolphin color pink going on here. I don't know why I'm focused so much on the colors. They just feel nice to focus on right now. You got a heavy message. Okay. I mean like the magic and the joy kind of a thing in the inner vision. There is a huge focus on our ability to perceive more than we are letting on or aware of about what is possible to stay connected and be connected. I'm thinking of a podcast that I just listened to about this like neuroscientist who's very highly regarded. Her husband passed away years ago, and then she started to discover that she could communicate with him. And then she's a neuroscientist. She's afraid of the scientific community in certain kinds of ways. And then so she did a whole lot of research, a whole lot of tests, personal tests, to just show that she is, like she said in the podcast, she's 100% positive that this kind of communication is possible. The more psychic I become, the more I'm like, okay, yeah, we're like hella connected. Also, telepathy tapes, if you guys have heard that or watched those. There's just something. Also, I'm thinking of Far Out. What's the movie called with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway where they're astronauts? Interstellar. Jesus, I'm like, it's super popular. Interstellar, where she makes a compelling argument for like love being a force, you know, kind of a thing. There's something about the force of joy. There's something about how like humans want to connect. Humans want to live in that steady, healthy state of joy, inner peace, bliss, communion. We're getting bigger than my brain can in your reading, but that's in your future, okay? After these seasons, okay? Your last card, group 2. Here we flip and go. Seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. It feels like a humbling final card, but I don't think it's meant to be so humbling for you. It's just meant to show you, kind of wrapping your whole reading up in a perfect little bow and reminding you, you will not expect this. Like it's coming from you would never expect that this would occur. It's coming from some part of your world or your past or your life that you just never expected this kind of healing for them to commit to, or you to be a part of, or for it to occur at all. So functionally what we're doing here is we're trying to look at your situation from a different perspective, one that's loving, healing, connecting, healthy, and doing all the work that's required to do that. Yeah, so we are seeing from both sides, you and whoever else is involved. But okay, group 2, shit, this was big. How do you feel after all of this? You can always let us know in the comments if you feel comfortable doing that. Like and subscribe, because this is a YouTube reading and you can watch more of them in the future if you subscribe. on my channel. Also, some links in the description of this video. I host a tarot group once a month. We just did it yesterday, and it is always one of the most profound things that I do with this channel, so I highly recommend it if you guys want to hone in on enhancing the telepathy or your inner vision or your high priestess vibes, because we meet together over Zoom once a month, last Saturday of any month, over Zoom, and we read for each other. So it does not have to be tarot. One of my friends, she jokes that it's, she calls it tarot-py, like tarot therapy. Like some of us do tarot, some of us only read oracle, some of us are brand new to it, and it's a safe space to practice reading. Some of us have only read for ourselves or our close loved ones, and we show up and it's like, this is the first time I'm reading for strangers, kind of a thing. Other people will show up and they'll do like little astrology readings for us. They'll channel, they'll like read our energy, our emotions. They'll do scrying, cartomancy. Well, really, this is cartomancy. And bibliomancy, we've had that been done. Basically show up with wherever you're at if you want a safe space to practice for other people, because you will be reading for other people, and you want some tarot therapy, and you would like to receive a reading. So, you know, show up with your craft, your gifts, you know, and something that you would like to receive a reading on, because multiple people will be reading for you. Okay, so it's hella valuable. I charge $11 for it. I don't think I'll ever increase that price. My guides forced me to charge because this is something I would do for free, but they're like, you have to fucking charge. We're in capitalism, America. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's $11 to sign up, but if you're interested in that, come on. I highly recommend it if you are interested. Okay, no pressure, safe space. Link description of this video, but I'm sending you on your way. Please remember that we are all free and we are also all connected, always at the exact same time. I love you. Hey, beautiful humans. In group 3, you guys were drawn to this making a difference card. So these are your messages all about something new, this new experience, this new kind of, I'm hearing new timeline. Okay, straight out the gate, group 3, your card is giving me the vibes of your sensory experience in life is going to become extremely important, and it's like a gift for you. And by sensory, I mean psychic. I do mean telepathic, if that's a part of it. Whatever are your sensory, your psychic, your clair-empathic, whatever that you have and or you're not quite aware of yet, that's a part of this. And what I feel like you're about to go through, this is all coming through from your card. What I feel like you all are about to go through that's new for you is a very severely aware, clair-empathic. I'm hearing all the psychic terms, so just like throw them all in there. Like anything like quantum, whatever, like super connected with God and source and your guides, you know, kind of a thing. Whatever you got going on there, your ancestors, looking for signs, like as you go through your day, whatever is yours. There's something about you're going to know exactly, like literally to the point, to the details, to the moment, to the exact moment, when to give to whom, in what kinds of situations and where. And I think what you guys are going to do in this kind of thing is you're entering into a zone in your lives where those kinds of sensory gifts are going to lead you to kind of do a gesture such as what this hand might appear to be doing right here. Like there's a starfish that's kind of stranded on the beach. You pick the starfish up and you put it back in the ocean. And there's something that inside of you, like this mysterious, you know, kind of face in the sky kind of a thing. It's going to fill you in on when to do that, where to do that, for whom, for what, and reciprocity. I'm just going to put your card right up here, reciprocity. So like you do those gestures, you're going to be a part of something, let's call it like a natural order or an organic order of like what kinds of ways those kinds of gestures will come to you and come through for you, group 3, when you need them. And likewise, when you are ready, fully, totally capable to do those kinds of things for others. Does that make sense? It's kind of like literally, divorce ourselves from the way humans do that kind of stuff with money and with wealth and privilege and status and things like that. What you're about to enter into is to go into something that feels more organic, more natural, like how nature kind of does it, maybe. I don't know. Your card, it says, my inner light shines far and wide. And I think that the more you enter into this kind of openly, curiously, maybe even willingly, like a kid who's curious, the more you investigate it, the more will come through for you as a result. It's very much like it's time to give, but be aware that your giving is a part of a nature, is a part of a pattern. There we go. Okay, you guys get one extra card down here. Let's see what your tarot has to say about this, because this kind of shit feels like fun. I don't know, the energy, for me, Erica, your tarot reader, I'm like, this sounds like so much fun. Like, it's like an adventure. Like it's living life as life. You don't have to, like, you know, achieve or accomplish. You just live through it and see what happens. It's exciting. But also I genuinely am channeling that feeling, that sensation inside of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, let's see what your cards say. Queen of Wands, again with this inner light shining far and wide. Dare I say, or dare we approach your guides and I channeling some kind of mastery, like forming inside of you over this process, as well as how to do it. And then you just kind of switching on, like clicking on in other people or other energies or the world around you who witness this organically happening through you, through your actions. There's something about you being a beacon. There's something about you learn this and you embody it and you behave in this kind of a way. You don't necessarily have to like get on social media or write a book about how to do this. Let's see a little bit more. It feels much more of like you're going to be doing it, and people and energies and everything like that are going to be drawn to it in this kind of a way of they probably, you're going to have that kind of an impact of magnetism in the world, as well as permission, representation. Like, look, this is how I live my life for a period of time. Isn't that cool? We also have King of Cups. And we have the Sun card, and I am getting this tone of kind of epic amounts of reverberation. That's hard to say. I don't know why. But do you see these like lines like around the king? It just really feels like you're gonna enter into doing this. Overall, it feels like it's going to feel insanely good to you. Like I said, I was filling up with, like me personally, Erica, if I were to claim this reading for myself, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, that's fun. I like that personally, but I feel like as you guys walk into this period of time, this something new for you, it's going to feel insanely good. And I want to say it's kind of, I just heard something like bordering on an eclipse. Have no clue what that means, but I just thought I'd put that there because that might be a little nudge to the time, as in like count on this starting maybe somewhere around an eclipse or when eclipse season starts in the year. Whenever you're watching this reading, that might be literally when we're talking about, okay, get going, that's the starting line, and or that's the finish line or something like that. We're just coming through with that. But there's something about how living in this kind of a way, behaving in this kind of organic nature will feel so good to you. The Sun card and the King of Cups. And there's something also with the King of Cups of like there's a stabilizing force. It's like supported and structured. It's like you're I don't know. It's like you're like leaving the matrix and going into something that's more real or true for you. And it feels like totally there, totally supported. Feels like natural economy or something. I don't know good words for it yet, but hopefully they'll come through a little bit more, or you guys are going to experience it. And with the King of Cups here, you might not even need the words. You know, like telepathy, like communicating with like, ooh, there was something that I heard the other day. I think it was like a clip from the Telepathy Tapes podcast. And it was something about one of the people who were featured on that podcast was saying something like, when I communicate through telepathy, like the words are poetic and beautiful, but they're like solid and they're condensed. I'm paraphrasing. Like when I communicate through telepathy, you get all of my feelings. You get like a cloud of you know, thought little pieces. You get all of this kind of stuff as well. It's kind of like when you communicate face to face with a person, you can perceive their facial, movements or their body structure. And therefore you're communicating more than just the words that are said. You guys are going to have some shit coming through, that's for sure. We have death. And I'm being told to get all 4 of the rest of these cards. Death, 4 of Swords, 2 of Wands, and 9 of Cups. This has a component of going on a journey as well that will lead you to something that is very much like emotional fulfillment, or literally living a vibrant kind of I just said this in one of the other groups. I forgot which one I said it in. Like, it came through for them as well. But it feels as if this something new is going to kind of transform your way of existing into something along the lines of, do you want to approach living in a steady state of overall emotional health and overall emotional well-being? Like your steady operating state is a happy place, is wish fulfillment, is joy, is bliss, is inner harmony and inner peace, How many of us have experienced that for a period of time? You know what we're talking about here, where it just feels like that. It just feels nice. And I did say this again in one of the other piles. Apparently this is a vibe, and I gotta say again, I'm interjecting. Erica, your reader, I'm interjecting. I'm like, hell yeah, this is a great vibe happening for us all. It's something along the lines of, you guys are gonna learn how to enter into thriving mode, but it's going to have to take this kind of functional, organic, reciprocity, like kind of a thing of be aware when something needs your assistance, give then in whatever kinds of ways. Trust that you have the awareness, the availability, the skills, whatever you need in the material world to help, and then trust that that will be coming back to you in that kind of really psychic, quantum fieldy, nature-y kind of a way. But there's something about, you guys are going to be learning how to live in this like natural organic status of always as it's like, why am I tripping over this? Maybe it's because it's very like talking about your emotional state, and that feels a little bit blurry. But you know how we say that the human body exists in a natural steady state of health. We have to do a lot to make it unhealthy. And like I don't know why we're getting weird when we're trying to channel this, but like I personally, Erica, have been able to do very certain things to make sure that that is always the case for me. Overall, I am always existing. I usually don't get sick like at all, colds. Like it just, it was little tweaks and then I got there. These last 4 cards are saying there are little tweaks that you will be doing with your emotional, status, your emotional health. And you'll get to that point where emotionally you're existing in that kind of like babyhood where, most of the time you're just happy, kind of a thing. Something has to go wrong in order for you to be unhappy. I don't know what we're exactly talking about because most humans aren't doing this. So we'll see. Your next cards, we have the Wild. And like I said, this does feel like something that is so much more nature-y, so much less civilized. That your guides are like, oh, that was the best way to say it. It's like, let's be a little less civilized. Let's be a little more like the plants. Oh my God, what a perfect card to come out. Okay, we are talking about nature, but more than that, we're talking about kind of the way that we're discovering that plants behave beneath the soil. They have a network with a mycelium and with their root system where they intelligently connect, communicate, and share and store resources. We've all heard that thing of like, a tree will receive like the nutrients that it needs, or like, what is it? Something like a tree stump continues to receive nutrients and resources even after it's been cut down. And also there's something like how trees have been known to communicate about dangers, beneath the soil for plants that are like miles and miles away. There's something going on that's so much more organic, so much more beneath the soil, so much more wilder. We have the World, and there's this profound sense of probably travel and interconnection. Like with this 2 of Wands, you all might be going to places very unexpectedly because it is a part of this whole process. And so then there's something about this Death card in the Four of Swords. In a lot of ways, your situation may be changing. And so then there's an encouragement in these cards so far and in this moment in time to adapt to change a whole lot more. Like, it's kind of like, how rigid are you in your current status? Something new is like, can you be a little bit wilder, a little less civilized, a little more comfortable with things overall shifting and changing? Kind of in a moment's notice kind of vibe. We also have goodness, and this does feel very hallmarked by a meditative kind of a state, or doing whatever it is that you all know that you need to do to effectively or functionally sensitize to this kind of stuff. To what we were saying with your card, the psychic stuff, the sensory stuff. When you're getting a hit from your guides, when there's a sign, a very clear sign from God or source or the universe, you know, when you can hear the call, when you feel like in your gut space, the nudge kind of a thing, there's this trust energy, and this is like good for you. This will fulfill you. There's something about being able to equally give and receive. It's like you're doing a different economy. It's like you're doing a different economy that's like a whole lot more dedicated to how you feel, you know, and it's like very sensory. And again, there's this imagery of what's beneath the surface, what's beneath the soil, you know, as above, so below, as below, so above kind of a thing. You know, the material world that we can all see and interact with in the third dimension, there's a lot that's going to be going on in those like inner worlds that are non-material. For you guys, we also have the voice, and I did say something about how it's not necessarily that you're going to be writing a book about this or getting on social media to discuss this, but sure, why not? Your guides are encouraging me to read what the voice card says in the little pamphlet that came with this deck. Hold on, where is, oh, it's old. I bought this a while ago. The voice, be aware of the words you use, the things you say. They have power as if to walk into the world ready to yield good or cause pain. Your voice matters, so use it wisely. And then we have grounded. Okay, functionally, it is less about your voice. It is more about the grounding and the hearing and the listening to the voices that are speaking to you as guidance, that are coming to you for the sake of that kind of giving, receiving kind of a thing. Have you ever done such a thing as like a really long time ago when I was spiritually awakening? It wasn't that long ago, it was like 2016. When I was going through that, I found all the weird, beautiful people on social media that were like, had already done it, and therefore they were talking about like, look at this weird thing that I do that's totally real for me, and it has helped me so much. Hopefully I'm one of those for you guys now. But there was someone who, her post, I think it was probably on Instagram, was something along the lines of she was going camping and she listened to the earth. And the earth, she felt like was so obviously tugging at her to use this particular fallen wood or this particular log to build a fire, you know, for her campsite and for her camping experience. And her message was, the earth will tell you what to use. The earth will tell you this is good. The earth wants to be working with us. The earth wants to be used in this kind of way. Like, it's okay if you burn this log. You're not harming me. She's like, ground yourself. Listen to the voices that are beneath the soil. Listen to the voices that are not seemingly in the material world, because we can't always witness them in that, like, you know, if I can see it and I touch it, then it's real. You can experience this and you can hear it in all those kinds of psychic ways. Okay, your next two cards, we have sacred mirrors. And isn't that the reciprocity that we were talking about? The goodness. Oh, that goodness card in the mirror. What you give will come back to you. What comes to you, you can give. It's operating in a different kind of a structure. It's just different. It's a lot less of that hoarding, scarcity kind of mentality. Look at that. The sacred flow of yes. Dare I venture a guess that one of your first gestures will come about when it comes to water, marine life, because we got the King of Cups, we have your card that you're drawn to, and then we have this fishy with the sacred flow of yes. I think that the first thing that you will be called on to do has something to do with marine life, something to do with the organisms found in the ocean, something about that. If that resonates, you can let us know in the comments if you want to, but you don't have to. But I am curious as fuck. Like I said, this kind of a journey ignites me as a person. So I want to do it too all the time. But yeah, this sacred flow of yes, it's just the generosity, reciprocity thing that we feel like we're talking about here, that you're entering into the portal of, or it's not even a portal. It's almost as if it was like, take the matrix off. It's always right there. It's always right there, you know, kind of a thing. And you're probably going to you're probably going to be sensing this, willing yourself to go there to some kind of a seaside. I'm hearing seaside community, help out in some kind of a certain way. Let's see a little bit more. We have the ibex with resilience. And then we also have the horse with journey. I'm getting a hit also about Aries season because this is just such prominent hornage. Aries season might be very, very significant for you. I know I just said like we earlier said eclipse season or eclipses or something like that. I'm going to get 2 more cards out of this for you guys. And I don't know why. Yeah, but again, there's something coming through about the resilient journey nature of this, and what we were saying about the death and the 4 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. This will make you happy. The outcome is generous for you, but there's something about you shifting into the ability to be resilient in change, shifting in a moment's notice, going on a journey, allowing life to be a conscious, always in motion journey. Always flowing. Like you might not know in the moment where you're headed the next day. You can still like have your structures, have your stability, and have your support, but it more feels like the more you can engage with, you know, the flow and therefore changes, endings and beginnings and transformations, the more this will suit you, the more this will operate well. And we also have the llama with endurance and the dove with peace. You're meant to keep going with this for a while, for a period of time, until you find some kind of very fruitful, beneficial outcome for you. And it just feels like these 2 cards are saying, include it in your life for a while and see what the outcome ends up being for you. 9 of Cups is often indicating wish fulfillment. So we might be coming through with this message group 3 and you're something new reading, as in like if you've got some goal that you want to achieve, any kind of dream, any kind of wish that you have, you'll likely achieve it through this kind of a way of doing things for a moment in time, for a period in time. But it's something like move into this structure and see what happens. And your last card, connect to source, you know? That's what we were saying with your very first card. Go within, beneath the soil, as within, so without, you know? Go within to discover what needs to be done. Oh my God. Oh my God, sorry, I'm geeking out like I do. Lots of hits with this card. Marine life again. There's something seaside that's going to kick this off, okay? Create the shift required to attract what you want. 9 of Cups, this endurance and peace kind of vibe, and the encouragement, like, you know, the attract what you want. Queen of Wands is generating that. You know, you're magnetic, okay? Let's get into that zone. What you want, 9 of Cups, likely to occur through this kind of a process. And creating the shift, get comfortable with change, you know, less rigid, less clinging to it is. Group 3, I'm done. Your guys are done with this reading. This is coming. This might be hard, but I mean, like, how do we feel about this? How do you feel? I mean, let us know in the comments if you want to. Like, subscribe, always, because it's YouTube. And if you want to see more of my readings or help the channel, you know to do that. Also, links in the description of this video. I have a book that I like to tell you guys about in case you are tarot readers. It's a paperback and an ebook. It's a book full of tarot spreads. You know, use it and see this structure for yourselves with tarot. Also, I have a group. We just did this on the weekend. I hosted on the last Saturday of every month. And we meet together over Zoom and we read for each other. So effectively, if you're looking for a safe place to use these kinds of skills in and to hone in on them and to practice them more, come. Any of these skills are welcome. You don't have to be a tarot reader. You don't have to be good at it. You can read anything, right? Read energies, like hear a message from your guides and deliver it to a person. What we do is we just meet together. We show up with something we would like to receive a reading on, and we read for each other. We go in order. It takes a while. You don't have to stay the whole time. But we gift each other our intelligence. It's a safe space so that you can learn, like, wow, that I am actually doing something that's quite valid and real, because the person who you're reading for will confirm your message, usually, always. And then also, several people will read for you. So it's a very valuable experience in that it's like paying for multiple readers to read on your one question, so you can get multiple perspectives. I love doing it. It's the best thing that I've done since I started this channel. It's $11. My guides won't let me make it free. They won't let me. It's capitalism still. But maybe if I do this journey, like you guys, you know. But regardless, it's $11 to sign up. Head to the link to find out more. I can't promote it enough because it's just such a worthy thing to do if you want. But that's it. We're sending you on your way. Please remember that we are all free and we are also all connected always at the exact same time. I love you. Hey, beautiful humans in group 4, you guys were drawn to this accepting what is card. So these are your messages all about something new. Something new is about to occur. You're about to have this experience. I'm also hearing a sense of belonging. I'm hearing those words right away in your reading. But your card, it says, I accept and oh my God, and embrace my inner majesty. What this something new is for you all, it's starting off with you all will be receiving some form of a gift. And I think there is a part of you that is resistant to it. And I think that that's why group 4, this is coming through in a tarot reading for you, so that potentially these cards are going to help you work on your resistance. Because I'm still doing it. I was stammering and stuttering with your card. And there's something about awkwardness, and you sense that you are too awkward or therefore unavailable or reserved because like you're awkward and weird. And I don't know, it's giving me the vibes of feeling awkward in receiving a gift at all. Like, have you guys ever received a gift, like at Christmas time even, like maybe from a family member, and then it's like a whole awkward kind of a thing as they watch you unwrap it, and then even if you like the gift, you feel like really weird about being watched when you do it, so you're like, try to like, I don't know, your reaction feels like the most important thing, and you gotta react really well because their emotions are on the line. I don't know, you're gonna be receiving a gift. You have resistance to receiving it. This gift is perfect for you, and I think it's gonna be like really, really important to you and the giver. I gotta show you, the bottom of the deck is the 2 of Pentacles, and it's like for a while you're gonna need to really balance the priorities and importance of you with another person in certain kinds of ways. And I think that you have this kind of like standoffish, stoic thing, like a mask, very well developed in your life or in your reality that doesn't always let you show how meaningful people are to you or how important you feel in any single situation. Something like that. I channeled those words. We'll see. I don't know. I channeled those words. They seem a little bit, yeah. Again, there's so much stuttering and stuff like this. I feel like this gesture, what is about to occur, it feels like it's more than a gesture. It feels very huge or very important to you, very big, very prominent. What is about to occur? This is something new. It's like literally someone giving you the exact perfect thing that you need, and they're giving it to you as in a gift. There's no, like, you don't have to give back. You know, like they're just giving it to you, and you're gonna feel like awkward about it. But this is something new for you, and your very first tarot card is the Fool card, which is the encouragement of do be open for a fresh new experience. You get to see how it goes after it goes. That's the energy of the Fool card. You don't know. You don't know. You're going to have to experience it and see. We have the King of Cups. He came out for group 3 as well. And then we have 2 of Cups as well as 6 of Pentacles. I feel like what this experience is going to do for you is guide you into a little bit of a more certain future in terms of how you perceive that other people are feeling about you and how you feel about them. Again, there's this energy of, with the 6 of Pentacles, of reciprocity. Like what is fair and what isn't. I think that when you receive this gift, when this gift is given to you, we're talking about your openness to receiving it. When this gift is given to you, it's going to challenge your concept of your own kind of worthiness, self-worthiness, to just openly receive a gift that you don't have to do anything for. This feels very prominently like if we were all living in our like full divine feminine and divine masculine energy, this would be quite normal. Like to like stand in our full receptive power and realize that when somebody comes to us with this perfect gift, like we open and we receive because it's exactly what we want. And there's nothing required of us. You know, like you guys know that kind of like a cycle between feminine and masculine, feminine and masculine, feminine and masculine. Like the masculine gives exactly the appropriate thing that the feminine wants. And she opens up to it and amplifies it. You know, amplifies it. Literally like the organic process of creating life. You know, a man gives the sperm and the egg, chooses and receives the exact sperm that she wants to, and then a whole human baby is created. There's something about work on this cycle. Work on maybe your consent. Work on your gifts of self-awareness. Literally maybe tune into some of those tarot readings that are like, how are other people perceiving you? Or do mirror work. Obviously do shadow work, but like focus on the concept of self-love, self-worth, and focus on the prioritization of, let's call it boundaries, but it's more consent. What actually would be a perfect gift for you? And then work on that, like, how do I establish an opening up to that kind of behavior in my life? Like open up to receiving something that is so perfect for me. And then realize that it is in the receiving that you organically will amplify that. I think with this 6 of Pentacles, you think that if somebody gives something to you, you immediately have to give something back. You know, it's kind of like a salaried labor. Like if you give your time and your efforts to a company, they must pay you. And if they pay you, you must give them. You know, I think that like we're used to that. Kind of like it always has to be balanced and even. We're talking like, no, that flow of the feminine masculine thing. You're going to be sitting in your feminine in certain kinds of ways here. Definitely. Woo! Here we go. Dare I say, can I say it? Like the delivery of the sperm is imminent. Like, sorry. This is Knight of Cups. It's coming. Forward momentum from the heart space. Look at how much Cups energy we have, because the last card is Page of Cups. You will receive this from someone, from an energy outside of you who is so willingly guided by their heart space. Like, of course, they want to give you exactly this perfect thing. You know, whatever this ends up being, of course they want to. There's this Page of Cups kind of energy of like, can you accept it with the grace of a child? Like, you know, like when everybody loves giving gifts to kids. Everybody loves that. Even to the point where kids are often, like, depending on, you know, how strict they're raised, with being polite. Kids are often very brutally blunt and honest when they don't want a gift or they don't like it. I remember telling one of my uncles once when I was little, he ended up Christmas-wise, he gave me the same sweatshirt 2 years in a row. And that second year, I was like, you just gave me this last year. And my parents were like, you don't say that. You don't say that, Erica. It's rude. I mean, like, it's true. There's something about be in that kind of, you know, feminine Page of Cups kind of energy of like childlike, accept what you actually would freaking love. Like the gifts that you know you would love kind of a thing. It's coming toward you, Knight of Cups. Oh my God, if we could emphasize the watery energy any further. I mean, come on. There's like, ew. I don't want to say it. It's too sexual. I'm not going to say it. Sorry, I'm shutting down your guides. This is PG-13. PG. I already said sperm. We're keeping it. Nope, not saying what it was. I refuse. I'm not saying it. I refuse. Anyway, King of Cups. Sorry, we're going back to the watery part. King of Cups, Two of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, and the watery energy. It's just like if we unlock this emotional mechanism, this emotional flow in your life, just imagine like receiving this gift and how much it can amplify. Remember what I just said about how we all adults love giving gifts to kids. Love it. You know, like don't shut that down in the person who's giving, you know? And then we have food. Oh, I love this card. It's one of my favorites in this deck. This was the second Oracle deck I ever bought. Look at how happy he is. And then he's like, this food is going to be yummy to put in my tummy. Like, it's just, there's going to be such happiness involved in this. Like, please don't shut it down because you feel any sense of unworthiness for this gift or you feel awkward in receiving it. Receive with the bliss of a child. Receive with the knowingness and the awareness of that cycle that we are describing. Hold on, I got to take a sip of water. God damn it. Sorry, your guys. I dripped some water. Look at how awkward I am. I dripped water on the cards. And the whole time I was taking a sip of water, your guides were repeating that word that they wanted me to say that I shut them down on. So I'm just going to say it now because I don't want them to ruin my whole fucking deck. Lube. Done. Not saying it ever again. I said the word. We're done. Stop. Okay. Next cards, please. Time. And wait. Hold on. Ooh. I just heard from your guys this will take some time to occur. Don't rush it. It's about being in receiver mode and being receptive when it does occur. So allow yourself the time to get rid. Look, it says wish and time. Like you can wish on this right now and then allow yourself the time that it will take. You know, for the whole process for it all to unfold and come to you. We also have vulnerability. There you go. There you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. There's something about gift giving and gift receiving that puts you into some kind of a vulnerable position. And again, I kind of want to go back to that. Oh God, your guys are saying the word again. That whole, you know, literal mammalian, masculine, feminine for the men, give the woman literally has to be in a vulnerable position. I mean, the vulnerability of the man is whether or not like there's the rejection and like, no, I don't want that gift. I don't want your sperm to make a baby, you know, kind of a thing. The woman literally has to open. And what science has found out is that the ova or ovum, the egg, it's not just the first sperm that gets there. It's like the sperm that the egg chooses. It's a very vulnerable thing to open up, you know? And then the sperm and the egg have that union thing and science. Okay, Father, somebody is going to be coming toward you with a kind of energy of the masculine, a very commanding, powerful, prominent kind of a masculine. And do allow that both are going to feel very vulnerable. Like we just described, they're going to be giving and they're gonna face whether or not you actually want to receive, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, they can stay in that vulnerable position, but there's something about this time and the wish kind of a thing of allow it to take its time. In the meantime, group 4, you're receiving these messages so that you can work on these receiver gifting kinds of wounds inside of you and what it means to you, and ramp up this intelligence and like those things that we were suggesting about like self-love and mirror work and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Celebrate your wins. This is interesting. I think I'm getting a little clue as to like who this might be or who is coming towards you. I think that they're going to be feeling very good, and that is why they're going to be coming towards you, and or they're giving you something because they will have experienced what could be determined as a win, and so then they might be feeling very proud. The rooster, and I'm also thinking of like Chinese years. This might be also like if you guys are the year of the rooster, if you guys were born in one of those years, or this person may have been born in a year of the rooster, just sensing that as well. Is there a year of the dolphin? Probably not. But anyway, still that water. Not that word. Anyway, celebrate your wins. This person is going to be feeling very proud. Knight of Cups. There is a little bit of a narcissistic tone sometimes to Knight of Cups energy. It's like forward momentum of our emotions and how I feel. You know, I'm going to press the world according to my design and my emotions. It just really feels like it's a quite a heavy dose of healthy narcissism, enough to bring this person to you with a gift because they've had a win and they want to celebrate with you, you know? And then we have ambush fear with your ferocious dream. And at this point, we are going to reference this Two of Cups right here. There's something very important about this relationship and this connection headed into the future. We're not talking about someone light or something light in either of your lives. This is very important. Two of Cups for me is very symbolic of something that's karmic or something that's like contractual when it comes to people. And connections, like, you know, our soul designed a soulmate for us, kind of an idea, kind of a thing. And it also is very much like what is within you is in them as well. And there's a very mirroring kind of a thing going on with this person. And so then it's like something is occurring in both of you that's getting over this vulnerability hump. You know, for right now. Again, if you guys resonate with those kinds of relationships, you know that with all relationships, there are waves to it. There are ebbs and flows, and this wish and time, you know, stick with this. You know it's coming. You probably have some kinds of psychic gifts and awareness. You're listening to a tarot reading that's confirming that it's coming, kind of a thing. Just, you know, do your part in this whole thing. They'll do theirs. Trust in that, if that all makes sense. I feel like we're talking a little bit more about the relationship more than, you know, exactly what this reading was mega focusing on. Your next two cards, we have the Hawk with Vision, and we also have the Crow with Magic and hello eyeballs. There's like a huge amount of eyeball energy going on. Being able to see each other. Maybe you haven't seen this person in a while or spoken to them in some time for some reason. Maybe it's hard to see each other. Maybe you yourself don't like to be mirrored. I'm channeling those words, group 4. Maybe you don't like it, like when your vulnerable behavior shows up in another person, then it feels like even more like you're awkward, they're awkward. Oh no, we're both awkward. I feel like these two cards at this current moment in time, there might be the expectation of you coming forward rather than them. Dude, now we're channeling a whole lot more about the relationship. There might be that expectation in the tone of the connection that you come forward to them. But there's also something in these energies of you use one form of something to keep in touch in some kinds of ways with this person, with this connection, with this energy. You use your resources that you have available. Tarot can be one of them. And then they use theirs. Like with these two energies, it's almost giving me the vibe of like one of you does tarot readings, the other of you stalks the other person's social media. It's giving me vibes of one of those kinds of things. But yeah, it really feels like there's a lot of fear involved in this connection right now. And something is going to happen for the other person where they're going to feel very proud, very good enough to ambush their fear with this ferocious wish card, dream. It's just going to take its time. So in the meantime, do this whole process, group 4. Your last card is keeping it in check. Pay attention to what is going on around you. This is the hawk and the crow, you know, the vision and the magic. You are paying attention. You are aware. You might be moving into something too quickly. Isn't this card wrapping your whole reading up with like a perfect bow? Time, wish, okay. You might be moving into something too quickly or missing some important details. With all of those, with all relationships just in general, it doesn't have to be those super hyped up, you know, soul contracty kinds of stuff that we love to talk about with each other on social media that I've done at this point multiple hundreds of readings for people about those kinds of relationships because they just have such a pull. 9 times out of 10, what those readings are showing is that while we are going through our shit, like the other person is going through some shit, you have some shit that you can go through. And that's what this reading is saying. Missing some important details. This is your shit that you can go through. You're not awkward. You're lovable. Work on all those things. Like rewind the reading. We already said them. Work on those things that you can do. You know, mirror work and all that stuff. Okay. In the meantime, okay, we're done. Group 4. How do we feel about this? I don't know. I feel happy at the end of it. So maybe I'm channeling your happiness. You can always let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, because it's YouTube. That helps the channel. And subscribe if you want more of my readings in the future. I just started doing more relationship readings, some on this channel, but I also started a TikTok where I'm doing relationship readings. It is TikTok, so they're less in detail. I mean, like, they're TikToks. So, I mean, like, they're, like, shorter. But regardless, if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, also check out the other links if you guys want a private reading. I got a book. I got a group. Check out all that stuff if you want. But otherwise, I'm sending you on your way. Please remember that we are all free and we are also all connected always at the exact same time. I love you. Hello, my lovely human people. You guys are here right now in the reading because you're curious about any of these decks that I use in this reading. I'm repeating myself. So here they all are in the order that I use them in. This one I got on Etsy a while ago from this creator, and this is the smaller version of that deck. And then we got that one and that one. Okay, I love you guys very, very much.